Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer, but today's going to be a little bit different than our normal Monday Makes videos because the one thing that I've made I can't particularly show you right now. I mean, it's back there, but we're not going to talk about it. It's just there, okay? As for premiere week, it's going to be a tutorial coming up. It is on the lovely Winifred, but as you can see, it's out of focus a little bit, and that's on purpose. Because I'm teasing y'all. Now, on Monday, we usually come around and we're like, hey, we're going to show what I've been making for the past 7 days. So, I mean, I can't really officially do that. But we're still going to talk about the weekend's updates, the weekend's events. I actually am going to open some things on camera today, which I never do on Monday Makes. I got a cute new shirt that says somebody in Fall Out Boy loves me. Yes, it's Patrick Stump, okay? I'm here to confess Patrick Stump loves me. And I'm going to go see him in March twice. I'm going to meet him up in North Carolina. And then the following day, I'm going to drive up to go see him in Maryland, and it's going to be a fun affair. Mr. Cinnamon knows. It's all good. Drinking a little bit of zero Dr. Pepper today, zero sugar Dr. Pepper. I feel like crap still. I talked about this a couple of times, but like, I think it is now just like a sinus infection because it's mostly in my head. I do have a cough, but I don't think it's moved into my chest yet. It's just the cough is from the excessive crap that's going on in my head. And you know what? To help keep the coughing down, I'm going to figure out what drawer I put my mints in. I'm going to pop one of those in my mouth. I hate having stuff in my mouth on camera. I know that I have one that's open already. I need a mint container. That's stitch markers. Part of the problem with reusing mint containers for stitch markers is I don't know which one's mints and which one's not. I thought I had. There were mint containers back there. I don't know what I did with them. I don't know. It's fine. I'll open a new one. These are my Buc-ee's mints. They're sugar-free. They're cotton candy flavored. They're pretty dang good. They're not the mint, and mint usually helps cough suppress it a little bit better. And my cough drops are upstairs on my side table, which I really prefer those right now. I'm not going to ask nobody to run upstairs for me. Because for the moment, everyone's being quiet and minding their own business. Woke up this morning and I had chicken soup for breakfast. I made a big batch on Thursday. Was it Thursday or Friday? I think it was Friday. Had a bunch left over. I'm like, I want chicken soup for breakfast. And it's chicken and rice because I have a gluten allergy and can't eat noodles. But it definitely hit the spot. Soup is good for the soul. Neighbors are screaming. Must be nosy. You guys want to see what's going on? Neighbors across the street are crazy. These neighbors right here. As you can hear, my birds are very happy on the bird feeders. Yeah, I don't know. I think he went back in. The whole family's got problems. The whole family. So, what did I do this? End. Close. Thank you. I am that neighbor That neighbor, I hear noise outside, and I'm like, ooh, what are they doing? People in the corner are celebrating. They're a newer neighbor, and the only reason I know this because I heard a noise. I looked out I have a porthole window on the side of my house. I went over there. I was peeking. I was like, what's going on? I am that neighbor. I am that neighbor. Let me some sugar. No, let me some sugar. I am your neighbor. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Sing it if you know it. My dad used to sing, shake it like a Polaroid camera. He was a weirdo. Anyway, they got a new 75-inch flat screen TV and furniture to put it on. I was nosy because there was a really loud truck outside, and I was like, ooh, what's going on? Alright, what's going on in Cinema Stitches land? So yesterday, Saturday in my world. Now you guys know, if you recall, I'm going to take my glasses off because they're causing more glare. Oh wow, I look really pale. I bought bulbs, hyacinths, tulips, daffodils in November, December, I think, with the intention of making a new garden in the front yard. Oh, let's rewind a little bit. Outside these two windows is my porch, and on the other side of my porch was giant, nasty bushes. And the bushes were overgrown, and like the weeds coming through the bushes was getting out of control. And I've never really liked bushes. Like, I'd rather flowers. I don't want bushes. I like the privacy that they provided, but I don't like bushes. One of them was an azalea. One of them was holly. And it was really, really spiky holly. Because I don't know if you know this, but holly will have rounded leaves until something disturbs the leaves. So when you trim the holly, it makes a defense mechanism, and it will make really sharp, jagged leaves instead of the rounded leaves, which is what we traditionally know as holly. Because if an animal bites at it, or nips at it, or the plant becomes damaged, it will start transforming the leaves into like the traditional holly spiked leaves. And because we were constantly trimming it to keep it from growing out of control, it was a spiky mess. And then there was this thorny weed that was growing up in it, and it was coming into the porch. And I like to walk barefoot, and I would go out there and step on these really spiky thorns and like the leaves, and they just had to go. So we ripped them out. And by we, I mean Mr. Cinnamon and Juju did most of the work. And we had some guy come and rototill it, just tear everything up, which is crazy to me because in front of my porch, in front of the steps, there's a sidewalk. There's another planter garden that had a rose bush, hostas, narcissus, and a couple of hyacinth bulbs that I planted, that I bought hyacinths as plants, and I planted them. Okay, it was rototilled to death. There's a tulip growing in this bed. The hyacinths are coming back. I'm like, y'all are supposed to be dead. I felt so much guilt in killing the plants that were out there, but I want it to be grass because Mr. Cinnamon's not real good at the edging and the weeding, and it was looking rough. And I cannot get on my hands and knees anymore. My body doesn't do it to pull all the weeds and all that. So I need low maintenance. I'm happy with grass right there. And I wanted to, in front of these windows, build a flower bed that was kind of elevated, that I have an easier time cleaning out, weeding out. I laid weed barrier down, and I'm jumping way ahead. So anyway, I ordered bulbs to put out there with the idea of this raised flower bed, or slightly raised flower bed, and it didn't get done because of weather, because of time constraints, because of money, because of 100 reasons. The house was getting worked on, and we couldn't start the flower bed because, and I'm glad I didn't build the flower bed before they did the work on the house, because we got our siding replaced, the gutters replaced, and we got a new deck put out back, because they absolutely destroyed my flower garden in the backyard. They destroyed it. My rose, which was a beautiful 6-foot rose bush, bloomed all kinds every year, is dead. It's dead. It has one little tiny purple leaf growing on it right now. The rest of the plant is like brown and dead. Because they just did not have any respect for the fact that there was a garden there. And there was all kinds of plants planted in there. And nothing, like there's no signs. So I'm irritated with that. But I'm really grateful that we didn't start this flower bed until all the work was done. And then we went out of town and then it snowed. And I told Mr. Cinnamon, I was like, it's got to be done this week. Because these are spring plants. They should have been in the ground in November. Now, because I live in a warmer climate, they actually technically could be in the ground anywhere from November to January because they're spring bulbs, okay? So in my zone, you can plant them from November to January, and it's February. They're still not in the ground. They're in the box. I paid $60 for these bulbs. I'm not throwing $60 away. You guys know me, I'm not doing it. Come hell or high water, that garden bed was being built this weekend. So, I told little man, you're going to help me. Generally, I ask. I ask my children. I give them the option to say no. If they say no, I lay on a guilt trip. And if they still say no because they are more, I don't force them into labor. And more times than not, 98% of the time, they're more than willing to help because mommy needs help. And I've raised really good kids. My niece, different story entirely. I have to fight her to get her to want to help. And then I end up saying, screw you. I don't need your help anyway, even though I desperately needed her help a couple times. And she's like in my face like, nope. She gets that from her mother. That's not, Jenny did not raise that. No, no ma'am. So, my two birth children that I've had all their lives, because I have had a huge influence on both my nieces, but also so has their birth parents, and so like it's a much more strained relationship a lot of the time. No complaints. It's just, it is what it is, and it's something we have to learn to deal with. However, my kids 98% of the time will help me. Little man is really hard to keep on task because his ADHD and because he's got a million things going on in his head, and he just does not get interested in the things I need help with. He will start off helping and then he goes and plays and trails off. So I told him, I was like, you're gonna help me today. I told him the day before, I was like, you're gonna help me. He's all right, what do we need to do? I said, I need you to move the rocks. And I need you to help me build a flower bed. Mr. Cinnamon did help too, but a good portion of the work was me and little man. And I have pictures on my phone. I was going to edit them into here, but I don't really feel like doing that. So I'm just going to show you on my phone because that seems to work. So, this big hole in the fence is my next door neighbor's. That's not our fence. This is our fence on this side. Okay, so from the rocks over, that's our yard. That's their yard. Our fence is a hit. That's why it is being repaired in patches, because our yard is so big, it is ridiculously expensive. I don't have 10 grand to fix my fence. So we're doing it in sections, and it'll be fine. But like I said, this is my side. That's my neighbor's side. Alright, so you see this big giant, that's the dogs. This big child, yeah, that's a big child. This big giant pile of rocks. There's easily 500 pounds worth of rocks there. Some of the rocks are this big. Some of them are much smaller. They're all heavy. We didn't move all of them over. Those are from, because when we bought the house, there was a circle around the mailbox. There was a circle around the lamp post, which has been replaced and still don't work right because the wiring under the house needs to be fixed. And the entire in front of the bushes across where the other flowers that we dug up was the natural stones like that. And we ripped them all out because it is really hard to mow and weed eat around natural stones, and especially when it's going the whole length of the front yard. So we moved them out for the workers to come. We moved them out to get rid of the bushes. We moved them out to rototill the area. And I didn't have any part in that because I had broken my leg, and we did this in like November, and I couldn't lift anything. I could barely walk. So Juju and Lucas and Mr. Cinnamon did most of, well, they did all that. They did all that. And I sat and watched it and felt completely helpless and useless. So I busted my butt this weekend. As did little man. Not only that, he stayed on track the whole time, which is a big deal for an ADHD kid. He was on task. So I was like, we took that green wagon that was in the picture. It's a garden wagon. It was like $70 at Home Depot a couple years ago. We've had to replace the tires. It will also connect up to the lawnmower, and we can like use the lawnmower to pull it. It holds like 300 pounds, I think. I know that it actually holds more than that because I've sat in it and rolled down the hill with the kids. I have a little bit of an incline in the backyard, and me and the kids sit in it and ride down the hill. It's the redneck games, okay? It's fun. We have a good time. So I know that it holds at least, it held at least 350 pounds at the time that I rode in it. So it may be graded up to 400 pounds. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been several years since I bought it. So I loaded up a bunch of rocks, and I was loading up maybe a quarter of the cart because I just could not pull. I didn't have the strength to pull it. It was very heavy and hard to pull because my yard is very uneven, and I'm pulling it up and over the driveway and then trying not to get it to roll over the top of my legs coming down the sidewalk that I tripped and fell and broke my leg on. So it was, I'm telling little man, I was like, you gotta help me, you gotta help me. So him and I are loading, and the rocks were heavy. Some of them were like 30, 40, 50 pounds, and we're loading them, right? He's only 9.5. He's a skinny little thing. That boy's got some strength, okay? He's picking up big giant rocks as big as him. Half his weight, he's picking them up. He actually put one down in the cart as I was slamming one into the cart, and it jerked his arm a little bit. He's all, that hurt, but it was my fault. I shouldn't have put my arm in there. It's like, baby, I'm sorry. Let's be careful, okay? Like, when my arm's in there, you don't put a rock in, and when your arm's in there, I won't put a rock in, okay? He's all right. And it was just from the cart hitting him, bouncing back from the rocks. I went to go pull the cart back to, because we're on one side of the house, we're pulling it all the way around to this side of the house. And I was like, baby, you gotta help me, I can't do this. And so the two of us are pulling this cart. We get it up around the corner, we're unloading them. And we'd laid down weed barrier. I laid down 2 layers because the weeds out there are crazy. So I laid down 2 layers of weed barrier, and then we formed I'll show you guys. I took pictures of everything. I made the shape. I didn't want it to be squared. I wanted it to be natural looking. And so this is actually about, I want to say 10 feet wide. I think it's 10 feet wide by probably 3. Actually, this tarp is 4 feet wide, so it's probably 10 by 4. It might be slightly more than that. It might be 15 by 4. I know that I had 100 feet of fabric, and I still have some left. It might have been 25, 20, no, I'm going to say it's 20 feet by 4. That would make more sense, right? No, wait a minute. Hang on. This room is 10 by 12, and it's slightly longer than my room because the porch goes out that way. It's probably 15 by 4 feet. I didn't measure, but I put 2 layers of the weed barrier down, and we did I wanted it like to arch, and it didn't even occur to me to put it along the back lattice so it doesn't backwash under the porch. And Mr. Cinnamon was like, we got to put a back border up there. I was like, oh crap. So like 5 hauls later of rocks, it looked really good. Like I was liking the way it was looking. But do you see back here in the background? These are mums that I bought to be planted in this flower bed before the workers came to do the work on the side of the house. It was supposed to go in this flower bed, and I have not watered them. I have not touched them because they started to die off for the winter. And then when it started to snow and they started to get really lightweight, I was like, they're probably dead. They're probably dead. And I was really upset because these were like 40 bucks, okay? They were really big, beautiful mum mixtures. I showed pictures of them. I took pictures of Bentley in the fall in front of them, if you guys remember those. But do you see right here? Not up here. That's weeds behind there. Do you see right there? There's a little bit of green. They're in those pots growing back. They have not. They've been completely ignored since November. I thought for sure they were going to be dead. Because I've bought potted mums before and they died on me. I even planted them and they died on me. And I was like, it is a miracle. It is an absolute miracle that they are still growing. So, I planted them. I put the 2 big ones on either end, and then there's 3 small ones in the middle. And I kind of like backfilled the dirt a little bit. And then I had to wear gloves because if you guys recall, when I bought this box of bulbs, I opened it up and I got like what felt like fire ants were attacking my neck and my face because I opened the box close to my face. And I did not know, because I had only bought hyacinths as a plant and replanted them. I didn't know the bulbs release a chemical that can cause really bad skin irritations to certain people. And because I already have skin issues, it affected me greatly. So I was already, I'm not putting my body anywhere near this box. I'm going to open things away from my body with gloves on. And then little man was helping me. I let him plant all the hyacinth bulbs because he didn't seem to have a reaction, which is fantastic. Because he has eczema, but not anywhere near me and Juju's levels. And I was like, I already know how to handle it. Like, if he starts to have a reaction, we just wash him up really good with soap and water. He didn't have any problems. And so we went along, and I put a layer of dirt down. Come on. We put a layer of dirt down. This is from the top side. And then we put a bunch of bulbs, just random. I bought several varieties of daffodils, several varieties of tulips, and then I think 2 varieties of hyacinths. So I had like 50 or 60 bulbs to plant in that bed. So I told Lucas, I was like, just put them, and they were already sprouting. They were all sprouting. They had like the little sprouts on them. I was like, just make sure that green or white tip is pointed towards the sky, because that's the plant. Just put them up. He's all, these look like onions. I was like, well, they're related to onions, like onions, alliums. It's all in the same family. And so he was really excited, and he's like, he started off like bunching, because that's what kids do. I was like, baby, you gotta take some of those and put them over there. We want this all, I want it random. I don't want to know what's gonna come up on what side. I just want it to be flowers and color. And I bought a variety of colors. So the hyacinth bulbs are purple and white, I believe. There might be pink in there, but I don't remember. And then there's peach colored daffodils. I'm positive there's yellow colored daffodils, because yellow double daffodils are my favorite. And I had to have purchased double daffodils. And then I don't remember what varieties of tulips I bought. Those will be a surprise. And I told him just mix it up. Like, just make sure you're going back and forth across planting. Next time, go like the next bag of whatever variety, do it again. And then we weren't even looking at what we were planting. We were just opening the packages, and I did have a reaction on my hand, which is completely cleared up. Fantastic. But the reason I had a reaction on my hand is because I did something stupid. I had my gloves on, and actually it was kind of cool because when Juju was little, her and I used to plant all the time together. Like, we did a lot of gardening. We had a little planter, not a planter. We did have a planter box when she was little, when we lived in Michigan. We moved when she was 5. She was turning 6 when we moved. We had a planter box out front that we planted annuals in every year. And then we had like, what is it called? My brain keeps saying pocket garden. That's not what it is. You know when you put the garden in the buckets? You have like a tomato plant in a Home Depot bucket. We had that. She helped me. My mom assisted a little bit before she passed away when Juju was 5. So we have really good memories of gardening together. when we moved to Virginia, we were renting that house and we didn't really do a whole lot. So, but I have a lot of memories. And she helped me with the vegetable gardens here a lot. And she actually took plant life classes to where she was doing plant stuff and growing and learning about, like, is an agricultural class that she took. And the teacher was really impressed with her because not only did she know what she was doing, she put her fingers in the dirt because she always has. She always has. Like, I got pictures of her being little kids and we would show our dirty hands. 4 or 5 years old, little tiny little thing. 2 and 3 years old. I always had her in the dirt. Because to me, there is nothing like the feel of like cold, fresh dirt in your fingernails, under your, like in your fingers. Like to me, that is a sensory I just love. I also love the feel of the fresh dirt in between my toes. And I know that's going to gross some of you out, but like it is what it is. I grew up with no shoes on ever. I stubbed my toe a lot. I banged up my knees all the time. I have scars on my feet because I never had shoes on. And today I'm barefoot right now. I hate socks and shoes. I just hate them. So I was outside with my hot pink Kizik shoes on. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not getting these things dirty because I love my hot pink Kiziks. So I kicked them off after I kicked my ankle on the corner of the porch. So on the step, like I hit where I broke the chip off of my ankle bone. I banged that on the corner of the wood step on my porch. I about screamed. I started to cry. It hurt so bad. Now my ankle is all swelled up and I have a big gash there. And I hit it right on the tip where the bone broke off. Like right, like I can't even express to you. It's like banging your elbow on a hammer is what it felt like. You guys ever hit your elbow and it's like that nerve? Oh man, it was intense. I kept on going though because the rain was coming and I got to get these bulbs in the ground. I was very frantic about it. This is getting done today. If I'm working in the rain and with a cold, I don't care. It's getting done today. We're doing it. And me and little man, we were doing it. Mr. Cinnamon was doing a little bit of putzing. That's what I call it. He putzes. He putts around. He was raking the dirt a little bit. I was like, I'm not worried about the dirt. I'm literally putting barrier over the top of the dirt. And he's like, well, I need to get this root up. I was like, I'm covering that root with dirt. I don't care that there's a root there from the previous bush. Let it stay there. It's dead. Just let it. I'm not pulling it up. I'm not digging it up. We're not doing that today, sir. I'm getting this garden bed put in. He did help move the rocks, though. And me and little man were picking up and throwing them, and they were landing into place. And we were kind of working in unison, which we don't ever do. Everything I've ever tried with him, because I tried to parent him the way I did the girls. And everything I did that I did with the girls did not work with him. He is entirely a different person than anyone I've ever known. He's similar to my personality, but he is very stubborn, strong. This is me. He's very stubborn, strong-willed. He's just like his mom when it comes to that. And so we butt heads a lot, and he's not interested in the same things as me. So when I would try to do arts and crafts or creative thing, he's not, nope. And I don't like computer stuff. So there's that. This is the first time probably in his 9.5 years being on this earth that we worked in unison. There were no disagreements. There was no, like, we worked so well together. It's making me emotional. He busted his butt. We got it done. It looks beautiful. And we got our hands dirty together. And we got our hands dirty together. Pretend to be. We got that all done. And then we were trying to beat the rain because it was supposed to rain. And I literally sat down and I looked at this beautiful garden bed that we just built. And it took all of maybe 2 hours. It was done so quickly. And I looked at it and I was hurt and I was tired. I looked up at the sky. I was like, hey God, I don't feel like watering this. Can you let it rain now? And I kid you not, it started to rain. It started to rain. I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't want to pull the hose out. And it's been raining since, like off and on. Just sprinkling here and there, but it's enough to give those flowers what they need to grow. So I will absolutely share pictures when they are in bloom. I will absolutely take 100,000 pictures and share them with you guys. But after that, I told Mr. Cinnamon I wanted to go to a Family Dollar / Dollar Tree store that I didn't know was in the area. It's new. And little man wanted to go up north to Savers, which is a thrift store. And then we ended up going to Goodwill as well. But it was the Goodwill up by Savers, which is in Woodbridge, which is not anywhere near our house. So we had a day where we were just out. Mr. Cinnamon didn't want to go. He was very cranky yesterday. He was cranky. He was moody. He was tired. And I was like, you ain't got to go. Like, I'll take the kids. We'll go have family day without you. And he didn't want that. He's like, no, I'm going. I bought the kids a couple of things. I bought Lucas some Hot Wheel cars because he earned them. I bought Juju a skirt, which is so pretty and frilly and like girly. And then, what else did I buy? I bought a couple of cherished teddies. I don't necessarily collect, I guess I do collect them now. My aunt collected cherished teddies when they came out in the early 90s for her daughter, who my mom and my dad kind of raised her till she was about 7. But my aunt, it was history repeating itself. So my mom and dad stepped in, helped raise my niece, and then I repeated history by stepping in and raising my nieces. I didn't learn the lessons from my mother. I told Juju, no matter what happens, don't repeat this history of our family of taking your brother's not your responsibility. He's going to be a grown adult when he's a grown adult. Don't ever feel like you have to take care of him. Don't do it as a trap. Don't do it. That boy's going to learn to stand on his own 2 feet. Don't do it. But I have no doubt in my mind that my 2 nieces are going to fall into that trap, because I already know the niece that lives with me, Hermione, she's going to absolutely take care of her younger sister. I just know at some point her sister's going to need her, and she's going to be like, can I come stay? And Hermione's going to be like, yeah, come on, because Hermione feels this weird, I got to take care of her. She's my responsibility, because she's always had to take care of her because her mother wasn't. Anyway, what else did I buy at the thrift store? I have one thing I'm going to show you right here. I'm trying to think what else we didn't buy. I barely bought anything. I bought snacks at the Family Dollar Goodwill, or not Family Dollar, Family Dollar Dollar Tree combo store. It sucked. It was terrible. They didn't have nothing. I keep looking for like craft supplies that are everyone else is finding all over the country, like the little crochet kits. I have one in this area. We barely have yarn anymore. There's no crochet hooks or any of that type of thing. Dollar Tree at one point had a little yarn ball that's like the Yarnet. It's a smaller version of this at the Dollar Tree. Can't find it anywhere. Anywhere. They said they had it in Florida, so we went and checked while we were in Florida. Nope. Nope. I can order 68 of them for $70, $80. No thank you. I don't need that many. But the Dollar Tree, like, I just bought snacks for everybody because I knew we were going to be out for the day. I bought myself pork rinds. I ate like 8 of them, and I was like, yeah, these are too hard to hurt my teeth. And we drove up north to Savers. I bought cherished teddies. They're little statues of teddy bears. I bought one because it was August, which is me and little man's birthday. I bought one because she was holding a watermelon, and that reminded me of Juju. And then I bought another one. I don't remember what she looked like. Oh, I think it was another little boy. He was holding school books. He was so stinking cute. I was like, that's because my little man is so smart. I gotta get that one. And then I found this at the Goodwill as the Stitch by Stitch series book number 11. Now, I have a couple of these. I don't have the 11. I look for these particularly at the thrift stores because they have really good random, like really good patterns. And this one had a lot of crochet, like a lot of crochet. So it will have crochet patterns and techniques, knitting patterns and techniques, sewing patterns and techniques, and then like a random homemaker. They show you how to make like placemats and stuff for the house. And then shoestring is like their random stuff, right? So this has stitches, which I totally did this in a poncho. And it's just chaining with a picot in the middle. And it makes the net look so much prettier, like the network. Let me show you how to take that stitch and turn it into a vest. The problem with the patterns in here though is they are all like size small to extra large. They don't take into consideration fat people. And then they show you here how to work up certain stitches. And I was like, what does this look like? 'Cause every time I see this stitch, I think the same thing. I think two things actually. It kind of looks like elephant faces with the trunk hanging down. But also if you flip it upside down, what does that look like? Tell me I don't look like your middle finger. So I was showing Juju, I was like, what does that look like to you? She's all, somebody flipping you off. Yes, it does. But it shows like different stitches. Which the other ones I have does not have this much crochet in it. There's even a crocheted sweater in here. Which most of the books that I have, and I only have like 3 other ones. I have like issue 2 I think is my favorite. Another crocheted vest. I was really impressed with this book. I was making all kinds of jokes though. I'll show you when I get to it. They have a lacy bedspread. I'm not going to show you everything. So one of the shoestring things is it shows you how to make an eyeglass case. How to make fringing. All this extra look at this. Look at this. Is that not wild? Wait a minute, I'm trying to make sure you guys can see it. It is wild. I mean, there was a lot of crochet in here. There's a little bit of knit. I was like, glamour shots. A straight up glamour shots. They show you how to knit a vest, a bow tie, and what's the third piece? Evening. It's an evening bag, a bow tie, and a vest. So there's an evening bag, a bow tie, and a vest. I'm like, that is wild. That is so 1982, I'm telling you. What year is this book made? I'm telling you, that feels like 1982. Just, it does. It might even be the 70s. Oh, 1984. I was close. I was close. There was another one I want to show you. Okay, this one. This bothers me. Those are little girls. Why are you showing their rear ends like that? That irritated me. I was like, that's inappropriate. And then this one. Tell me these girls don't look like they're going to meet Prince Charles in the 80s. They were like, oh, we're gonna go play. Let's go play some. I don't know. What do the Royals play? What is that? Backgammon? Not backgammon. What is that called? In the field with the things. Maybe they were going to play polo. That's not what I'm thinking of though. What is that stupid game with the mallet and the little loops and you hit the ball through it? What is that called? Alice in Wonderland plays it. Anyway, yeah. They're going to meet Prince Charles. Prince Charles. And then, oh, this one made me laugh too. Let's see if I can find it. Alright, where'd you go, Barbie? There she is. There's Barbie. There's Barbie. So yeah, there's a lot of just interesting stuff in here. There was a ton more crochet than I'm used to finding. I really just like using these for inspiration. I like looking through them and seeing what can and cannot be done. See, here's another crochet. Look at that. I mean, $1.99. Can't beat that. I always look for the Stitch by Stitch books when I'm at the thrift store. Alright. I also got a little yarn haul from Premier Yarns, but I'm not showing this on Thursday because Thursday's video is already uploaded and it's not Premier Yarns. So, I mean, there's unbagging in this video too. This is not anything. This is just, I bought this because it was on sale for $4. And I already gave you guys a heads up last week that I bought this, but it came like really fast, which Premier Yarns usually does not give me expedited shipping. I don't know why it came so fast, but this is the bamboo pop sock yarn. And I ordered 2 in the purple and 2 in, what is this color? Can you guys hear the birds outside? Those are the robins. That's because spring is here. What the heck is the name of this colorway? Wildflowers. This yarn is ridiculously soft. This is not going to be socks. This is going to be shawls or something wearable, because the bamboo sock, the bamboo pop sock is bamboo and wool, I think. 55% bamboo, 37% cotton, 8% PBT. So these are wool free. These are like, oh, first of all, I love bamboo. I love wearing bamboo, but I'm probably going to hold them 2 together. That's why I got 2 of each color. $4 for these. These retail anywhere from $8 to like $15 in the store, and I think they're doing away with them. I think they're discontinued, or maybe these are just discontinued colorways, because why else would they be $4? But you better believe I popped off on them $4. Like, yes ma'am, I will spend $4 for those all day long. So this week, coming up, what's today? Let me pull my calendar out. That's a calculator. I do that every time. Looking for a calendar, I get the calculator out. Yeah, so today in your world is the 12th. On the 14th, I already have that video up because I ordered from Chemknits. Rebecca at Chemknits. Chemknits is a channel here on YouTube. If you don't know about Chemknits, Chemknits is a dyer. She dyes yarns. She sells yarn. She did a Valentine's Day mystery skein of yarn. So she dyed it. She released a video that's going to release on February 14th at, I think she said her video was at 8:30. So my video on Valentine's Day is actually going to air at 9, because I don't want to like one-up her and be like, hey, my video came out first, because it's her product that I'm featuring. So I already messaged her on Etsy and I was like, hey, what time is your video releasing, so that I give it time for your video to release. And she's all 8:30, and like we talked a little bit, and I did an unboxing of the mystery kit. Super pretty yarn, super pretty, and it matches some other yarn that I just bought recently. So I was super happy, because when you buy a mystery, you have no idea what you're getting. But I like a lot of her yarn. I like the process she uses. I have been following Chemknits for 4 or 5 years. Like, I've been following her a while. And I watch all of her regular videos. I like watching her dye yarn. I learned most of what I know about dyeing yarn from her. I mean, she's fascinating. I like her. She's got a really cute personality. And I enjoy her. I enjoy her company. I enjoy it. I really do. So I ordered her mystery Valentine's Day yarn. I don't know if she has any left in her shop. She may. I'm going to check for you guys. My stomach is protesting. You hear that? It was so loud. Rebecca from Chemknits. Yeah, as of today, which is Sunday the 11th, she still has the Valentine's mystery yarns in her shop. And I already know what it looks like. So it comes with 100 grams of yarn, a stitch marker, a sticker, a handmade Valentine's Day card from Chemknits that she signed. I also got a free yarn needle. That's my little card. And you can select your base. They have sock, multi-nep, merino DK, merino worsted, sock yarn mop, DK yarn mop, for varying prices between $36 and $41 for the skein of yarn. What else did I say came with it? And it was wrapped really cute. It came in a cute little thing. Oh, the stitch marker was super cute too, but I'm not going to show you that. You'll see that on Valentine's Day. The sticker is already on my laptop. She spelled sticker wrong though. That's funny. It says sticker. So yeah, I will link Rebecca's channel below, and you can see This is just some of her yarn. I mean, she has really pretty yarn. I really like that one. I love that. You guys know I love neons. How pretty that is. Oh, look, it matches my hair. So, yeah. That will be Valentine's Day. I also have a comparison side by side, a Michael's yarn versus a Joann's yarn that will be on the channel. And I have 2 Michael's unboxings as well. Not unboxings. One is a Michael's purchase I purchased in store. I think that's Tuesday tea video, but I didn't have tea, so it's not a Tuesday tea technically video. And then I think Friday also I have an unboxing of more Michael's yarn to do another future video of a contrast and compare. So I'm taking the 2 yarns head to head, and one of the yarns from Michael's is almost identical to a yarn from Premier Yarns that I have and have used that I liked. So I'm like, oh, we're going to do a little side-by-side comparison. So that's a future video for the following week. But, oh my god, Michael's is killing it with the yarn lately. I have not shopped at Michael's for probably a year and a half. Like, seriously. I would go in there and they're like, they have nothing. Like, it's been for like this for a while. My Michael's restocked, which you will see this week is Michael's actually restocked. They put fabric in there finally. Finally. Like the Michael's in, I think it's Culpeper or Stafford, has fabric. My Michael's didn't have fabric. I'm like, I really like fabric, you know? And like Joann's is nowhere near my house, so my stomach is acting like I didn't eat. It's growling so loud. If you can hear that, I'm so sorry. That is embarrassing. Like, shut up. Look, I ate soup for breakfast. I'm not hungry. I can't wait to open that. I cannot wait to open that box. It's sitting right there, and I know what's in it. But yeah, good things coming this week. Really entertaining videos that were fun to make. I'm also finishing up a tutorial. And I have another tutorial to start this week for day 4 of Premiere Week. Yeah, because we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got 3 done. We got 2 more to go for Premiere Week tutorials. And you come up with another design. But now I have like inspiration. Like a new inspiration. I like looking through the books. I'm like, okay, well, I can make that. I'm not making a vest. Don't worry. I don't like vests. But I do. I have some ideas in my head already, but I want to look for... I also have been looking through my stitch guide, trying to figure out what stitches I want to use for what. Trying to work that out. Because even though you have a stitch tutorial, like a stitch... If you have a stitch dictionary, you can look and you go, oh, like for this example, it gives you the stitch count and it gives you how to work it back and forth. But if you're making something that's in the round, you have to rework it and figure out how you're going to make it work in the round. I mean, you could always slip stitch a joint and go back and forth. I don't like doing that. So I always rework it so that I'm just continuing in the round, which a lot of times will make the stitch look differently than it would look if it's going back and forth. So even if I use like a stitch dictionary to figure out which stitch I'm going to use, which I do frequently, I always tweak it and change it up a little bit with whatever I'm making to make it work for whatever project I'm making. And you also have to do the same thing, like even if you're making a shawl, like unless you're making a triangle shawl, which I don't like doing, I mean a triangle shawl is easy. You do the stitch, you put an increase, you do the stitch. But I like to make rounded shawls or like long shaped shawls, and that kind of changes it up a little bit. Speaking of shawls, when we were at Savers, oh, they had some of the most beautiful hand crocheted wraps I have ever seen. They were really rough though. Someone crocheted a pineapple stitch wrap that was not just the traditional pineapple stitch, but it was like a bobble pineapple stitch, and it was made out of something that felt like it had been felted. So I couldn't tell if it felt cottony, but it felt it also like felted wool, and it was so beautiful, but it was so rough. I almost bought it. It was only $4, and I'm thinking this is like an $80 shawl. It was gorgeous. I left it there, and I hope somebody appreciates it and loves it. It breaks my heart to see crochet at the thrift stores because, and I myself donate through crocheted stuff to the thrift stores because I know a lot of people underappreciate that kind of stuff, and it ends up in the dumpster. It really does. And it breaks my heart because I want to save some of that stuff. There was beautiful blankets. Really rough acrylic yarn. But they were beautiful. But I got enough blankets. It's so sad. Like, I love making stuff, and to think that it could end up in the landfill. But, I mean, it is what it is. I make it for the love of making it, you know. And I do donate a lot of stuff to other charities, like shawls to old age homes, and blankets to the dog shelters, and blankets to Boggy Creek, and I'm trying to think what else I've donated to. That is right on the edge of my memory. Also, loving my desk. I love how much floor space is out here. I know, like, to you guys, it probably doesn't seem like a lot, but I can touch the wall. I can touch everything on my desk without getting up or moving. I can dance in my room. Like, I have an area rug on the floor that's like 4 feet by 8 feet, and I'm only on a quarter of it with my chair. And when I slide my chair in, there's nothing on the rug. But I need to go to Aldi today because I need to get a plastic runner because I'm on the edge of the rug. So when I'm rolling back and forth, I would like the plastic runner to be right here to hold the carpet down so that I'm not folding it back up. I also need to put some more things away because I've been working, so things are out. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this Monday Makes video, even though I didn't really show you anything that I've made. Except I made the flower bed. And I kind of showed you this, which you weren't supposed to see, but like, it's out there and it's so pretty. Not to be confused with this that used to be on her, because it's a totally different thing, but it's just similar colors. Because this has yellow in it and that one does not. So, I'm going to let you guys go. I am going to change my batteries out. And I'm going to record Friday's video, and then I don't have to record anything all week except a tutorial or two. If I can record those 2 tutorials this week, which would be a miracle, I can get all the rest of the filming done for premiere week, and then I can start working on other things that I need to work on that are not premiere week or not work related, that are fun for Juju and for me and for all the things. And yeah, that's my goal. That's my goal this week. Get 2 tutorials done this week. And then I can start filming the intro videos, the shopping list, intro to the whole week video, etc., etc. And then, like, doing this premiere week way ahead of time has relieved so much stress on me. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.